T-shirt. You're gonna love this stuff. Well, great.
5th grade.
I love it. Before they get too.
Before they get too out of hormonal, too out of control.
Yeah. Well, a lot of what we're talking about these days, especially for athletes like yourself, that iron boot. I mean, that's competition. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even in our normal daily lives, what we talk about is a chatter. We all know the voice in our head, and we call it chatter. And what the new science is, which is letting us see the brain like never before, is it's showing us that if you're able to reg your chats, then when we get our chats regged, then we have an emotional state, because we're emotional creatures first, and then the body follows. One of the exercises, the actual eWod today, is going to be what time you wake up in the morning. Give me a number. Give me a time.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. You use a clock? Okay. Is it an alarm clock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not saying turn the alarm off, but your eWod is going to be, I want you to go to bed tonight, and I want you to see that 7 o'clock on your clock, but I want you to see it in your mind's eye. Okay? And it's repetition. I mean, you got a machine gun, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm going to feel rested, 7 o'clock. And your mind's going to wander off. You're going to think about the day or one of your students. I want you to bring it back, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You'll wake up at 6:58.
All right, test it out and see if it
I
happens.
don't know how it works. But now if we're going to bring that idea to your lift, I want you, I'd take video of you. What's this first one?
Good morning.
The good morning. And the whole idea is while you're doing the lift, you've got very specific words. And you told me, you said you were thinking about staying straight. So your mind is engaged. There was an emotional state. That's the other thing we're going to want to teach you to pay attention to. And you were able to do the lift. And we came over here, and I heard you say that you were looking at a building. Okay? I don't want you looking at the building. I want you getting that chatter on what muscles you're using and what your objective is in that task.
Okay.
So we're putting all of our energy and our thoughts, the chatter, on, in the book I call chatter just words and mental pictures. Remember the exercise of breakfast? Rose, what'd you have for breakfast?
Scrambled eggs and sausage.
Excellent.
Everybody you've asked at has had this. Everybody
Or
you've
sausage.
asked at CrossFit has the same thing. Everybody has eggs and either bacon or sausage.
But what'd you do, though?
And a banana.
The moment I thought I asked you that.
What did I do?
What did
I
you-
mentally pictured my eggs on my plate.
Exactly. That's a scratch of the surface of what we're talking about. Is I want you to put very specific words and mental pictures. That's the chatter. Everything from the good mornings to this. And you're doing it not only here, but tonight, tomorrow. There's 86,400 seconds in the day. Chatter's running the whole time. The frequency, and that's the tip, that's the technique we're going to talk about, is when you do visualization, you've been using that a lot. There's 4 things you got to make sure you do when you visualize, if you want to do it right. You got to be vivid. What's vivid what? Mental pictures. You got to be very, very clear what you see when you see yourself. Mine don't do well with general thoughts. So you got to be vivid. The second is you got to have intensity. What's that mean?
How hard you're in.
Good. We call it emotion, desire. In other words, if I said, hey, let's go do this, visualize how to bake a cake. And you're not going to get me signing up for that one.
No.
But if I say, hey, let's visualize on how to do a good morning and get it to where you're going to max out, we might have some intensity on that. So it's, again, intensity, if you can imagine, vividness is of the mind and mental pictures, intensity is of the heart and the emotional state. Got to have a lot of intensity. So you got vivid, you got intense. The last 2 is frequency. What's that? Yeah. There's 86,400 seconds in the day. Do it often. If it means something to you, intense, then do what often? Put them pictures up there. Very clear pictures. And then the 4th one is duration. What's that?
How long?
How long? Right. And we all know that I'm going to sit there trying to think about my good mornings, and then I'm going to think about that kid that got out of line this morning. Or, the mind's going to digress. You got to pull it back. That's the regulation skill. So you're doing those 4 techniques in the visualization technique. That's the eWod.